Welcome back to the show, Otakuans. I'm never gonna get that name right.
No, you got it right. Otakuans.
Is that
I
Otakuans or
mean, you don't have to put
Otakuans?
the emphasis on the ands. You just
Otakuans.
Otakuans.
Otakuans. So, okay. Well, anyways,
Y'all heard that.
Otakuans. Welcome back to the show. So today we're gonna go into our summer review of the animes that we watched for
Mm.
summer 2022. Kind of wrapping things up. A few shows ended this past week. I think there's maybe one still going. I'm not quite sure which one. I forgot what it was, but I
I
saw
mean,
it still going.
One Piece. Other than One Piece, that's always gonna go
What the fuck? That's
until we all die.
summer 1785. Like that's we're never gonna end that
Anyways,
season. But because the fall season just started, we're gonna go over the shows that just ended. Give our review on them. I guess like a not like a hot or drop, but more of like a pros and cons. We'll go over that. I know you have a list of things. I have a list of things. I guess I'll run into that first one. The first one we all know and love
mm,
is a harem and a labyrinth
mm.
of another world.
It was a solid show. Solid show.
Oh yeah, definitely. It it got different. So and not like a pro and con. It's not like a con kind of way, but it just got a little different.
Mm.
I will say that I did enjoy, watching him go, through all his trial and errors, get a couple more slaves and stuff like that. Like the little get his harem. At the in the begin or like in the middle before right before the end.
Mm.
I did like that. The action is phenomenal. I like when our isekai characters are smart, which most of them are smart. But I mean, like, there's something about him that makes him smart. If he's already smart, like I know we're probably gonna talk about the time I gained a second skill class and became the strongest mage in the world or whatever. He seemed like it's like we know you're smart. But when
Yeah.
these kids are just funny and smart, I think it really works. The con for me for Harem and the Labyrinth of Another World is at the end when he got all of those like he got like four damn female slaves in like one like 5 minutes like of the show. They just did like a quick montage of him getting his whole harem.
Mm.
I kind of didn't like that.
No, definitely.
Um, I think especially the elf girl when that elf like general was standing in front of him and he was like, "Would you please take her?" and it was his sister. I felt like that would have been like a good episode.
Yeah.
Like I felt like if he went to this world to help them, he defeated some fucking assassin or some army coming towards them or whatever it is, and then he's like, he at first the elf general hates him and then by the end he likes him and then he's like, she's not gonna be safe here. Can you please take her? You know what I'm saying?
No, that's exactly
They,
what I told you. If
yeah,
next season they decide to expound on everything, all the other slaves that he ended up getting,
that'd be
I'll be
cool. Yeah,
appreciative of that. Honestly.
yeah, because it's like during I think it was like the second episode where they shot to the end of like when he's like older and he has all his slaves and everything and he goes and sees his kid.
Mm.
If at by the end of this last season, what they did is they sped through the slaves really quick, and then the next season they start with their next slave, and then getting the next one. I think that'd be pretty cool. But if they just hop into the next season, I'm gonna be like, I mean, I feel like it's not gonna make or break me, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I missed out on something. I feel
No,
like I missed out on a story.
it was a solid story. Like it was a beginning to
Yeah,
end solid story. If they get a second season, I'm definitely gonna watch it because I like the show. They don't get a second
absolutely.
season, I'm not gonna be angry because I feel like
Yeah,
I got a full story. We know where he's going. We saw that in the
yeah,
second episode, projecting of where he's going to be, and then
yeah.
at the end of the season, they confirm, yeah, he's going to be going in that direction. So I don't need to watch anymore. Maybe if I see a manga form, I might add
I would
it
love to
to
watch more.
my
Yeah,
manga list and I continue on the story. That's what I do like to do from time to time. But
yeah.
it was a great story. I think the best part of the story is the fact that it was a regular guy. It was a very realistic isekai. Guy came in, he's like, "Oh, I have my own stipulations coming from the world I am." Then he's like, "Oh, this is easy. I'm about to do exactly what I want to do." And he did what most guys would do in a world where that's legal. Sadly, but truly, that's it is what it is. So I think the story was
He's not
good because
evil about it,
yeah,
which
he's
is
not
good.
evil. No, he treats them like complete humans. But
Like goddesses. Yeah,
at the end of the day, it showed us that isekais don't have to follow the same tropes to still be a good
yeah.
isekai. So
He's
I
not like
appreciate
yeah.
that in.
He's not like he has some crazy skills, but he's not like broken.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very realistic. Like he's smart. He knows about the video game world, so he uses the little tricks and he uses what he knows from the video game world to like make his powers and make what he does better.
Mm.
For those of y'all who haven't watched it yet, be careful. It's going to get real actiony in the beginning, and then if you got a wife, girlfriend, something, and I say every episode has fucking in it.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
definitely
every episode. There's
it's, it's super
sometimes in
duper
the
action.
morning, but every time at night. I mean, it's like realistically, that's like his. Well, in the beginning, that's like his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like they love each other or whatever. They obviously, even when he gets his second slave, he's like, oh, I need to treat her first. So like that's what people would do. So it's not weird because their boyfriend or girlfriend. That's what any relationship would most hopefully would do is go home after a long day, have sex, go to sleep.
Are you
So
projecting?
yeah, so whatever. Anyways,
Anyway, let me move on to my first one. So, did you catch the title Vermeil and Gold?
I saw it. I didn't really get to it, to be honest. There's so much to finish up on.
I mean, it's one of those that you want to watch, like, because it was a really solid show. But it's not something that I say, hey, you need to watch this now. Whatever you're watching,
Yeah,
put it down. Watch this full season. So if
yeah,
once you're done, once you're like, hey, what should I watch next? Vermeil and Go was a solid show. It's essentially about this the main character. He's the normal trope, the really short guy, but yet he's a high schooler, and everyone else is super taller than him. Everyone sees
yeah,
him as weak. The beginning of the show, he can't. I think I told you before. He couldn't get familiar, so he wasn't going to move on to the next grade, and then he ends up
yeah,
getting a demon familiar.
yeah,
So the whole show is essentially him hiding the fact that he has a demon familiar, but yet trying to excel because he's already an amazing magician. So he's trying to continue to move up. So he's like top class magician while hiding the
yeah,
fact that he has a demon as a familiar. But how the show ends is they find out he has a demon as a familiar. Of course, we all knew
yeah,
everyone's gonna find out eventually. But now he's decreed that I'm going to protect you. So he's fighting like this terrible terrorist organization that's trying to take control of that demon to destroy the
yeah.
world for like
Okay,
they don't live in
that's
the
nice.
same world. So he
Yeah,
defeats them. That's essentially what the show's about.
yeah. Okay. What are the pros and cons about it?
Pros and cons about the show, like the show had a good story.
Yeah.
It does move at a good pace. You do want to see
Oh,
how he progresses. It's a little etchy, so of course if you do like a etchy show, watch it. Cons, I don't really see super cons with it. Like it's just a solid show.
it's a
It's
normal
I
show.
mean like there it has a good amount of fighting. If you're looking for a fighting anime, it's
Yeah,
not a fighting anime, but it's
yeah.
fighting in they're at
It's enough.
a magician
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
But con wise, it's not a bad anime at all. I can't find anything that says, oh, if you don't like this, don't watch it at all. It covers its bases.
Okay, cool. Well, I actually started the time I got reincarnated into a slime. So I'm gonna be watching that. Yeah, I know. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be watching that for a while, but I'll definitely check that one out. My next one is Black Summoner.
Another good one.
So Black Summoner is another great isekai. You already know about it, but it's pretty much. I mean, for anybody who hasn't, it's a isekai, but it doesn't have like the time I got reincarnated into a Black Summoner, showed up to the Earth and made friends. Like it doesn't have one of those long titles. It's just Black Summoner. A kid gets isekai into a world. And he makes himself a summoner, and not too many people are summoners. I think there's only 3 in the entire continent, and he's one of them now. So he wants to hide that he's a summoner. So whenever he beats a beast or beat anything strong, he can like bring them in and make them part of his party. He can summon them back out again.
Mm.
But the show is really good. I think the show is really funny. I think that it has a lot of great isekai moments in it. I mean, it's an isekai, and this kid is broken. I mean,
Mm.
he's actually broken.
Typical trope.
Uh, yeah, typical trope of isekais. But we love our isekais over here, so we should change our name to like the Isekai
We're
Octagon or
not
something.
doing
But
that. We're not doing
no.
that.
What's up, Isekai ends? But no, I think it's a great show. My only cons about it are towards the end, they started getting really heavy without a smooth transition into politics.
Mm.
So they started like playing politics from one kingdom to the other kingdom, why this kingdom doesn't like that kingdom, why this kingdom does like that kingdom, why this kingdom needs the other kingdom, and to slide unless you're like a show that starts out as you pretty much show yourself as a political show, kind of like uh a hero. What was the one where the hero was summoned and he rebuilt the kingdom?
Oh,
That
I was summoned a hero, but I rebuilt the kingdom.
yeah, something I don't know, something like
Something about
that.
right.
But that pretty much started out political,
Yeah,
right? So you kind of knew like, let me follow these politics so I know what the fuck's going on and why this person's like bad. But this like Black Summoner like hard stopped into politics,
yeah,
and I was just like, it started getting confusing. Like I know politics well when I'm paying attention, but because that's not what I was looking for, because that's not what I expected, I kind of fell off some of the politics, and I had to rewind and be like, what did he say? Like, why is this person bad? I also said this before when we were talking about the opening of summer
mm,
and how like what we like about these shows is the animation change. They've had it's kind of weird and it's very random. They've had fights in the show that were good fights in my opinion, and they had the same anime as the show has. And then they'll get into another fight, and then it'll change into that 3D animation, and it's just it's weird. Like it bothers me. Like
I mean, they're
and
just trying to cut corners where they can make money, bro.
it's
Relax.
just random. Yeah, it's just random. I don't. I think the animation for the fighting needs to be a little bit more consistent. But other than that, I mean, it was a solid show.
No, no, I
Um,
definitely feel you. I watched Black Summer as well. I mean, of course,
yeah,
it was a solid Isekai. He was overpowered, of course, the same usual trope. Politics. I've noticed that I did pick up when they first started saying, "Oh, you want to hide the fact that you're a summoner because the kingdoms and all this stuff." So I kind of saw it that it was going to play out eventually, of course.
yeah,
But if you completely ignore the politics part, like which honestly I completely ignored the politics part, and just watch it for a OP character defeating supposedly other OP characters, and he's the most OP of all the characters, it's a solid show just for that. I mean, if you go into the politics and you try to see deeper into the show, maybe there's another plot line there, but just him
yeah,
being OP and showing how OP he is, and then collecting other people and making them OP as well, it did that well, and I'm not
yeah.
mad at that.
It did. Yeah,
Definitely
you're
not mad
right.
at that. So I do want to kind of slow down. You know, we've been talking Isekais. We gotta reach out to all of the fan base.
Gross.
So the next anime
And
that
it,
I watched, of course, I did watch it with my wife. I did watch with my wife. I promise.
wow.
Is actually going to be a rom com.
Ugh.
Rent a Girlfriend season. Rent a Girlfriend. So Rent a Girlfriend did come out. So of course, if you do like rom coms, Rent a Girlfriend gets a lot of hate. And don't get me wrong, I do kind of understand why it gets a lot of hate.
See a lot of hate.
It's super
I see it.
cheesy. It is cheesy. But if you just want to watch something cheesy, you want to watch a rom com. Isn't that why we watch rom coms, for cheesiness? Like
Never
cheesy
watched a rom com.
relationship silliness.
I don't watch rom coms.
I mean, you kind of do.
What?
What's the one where he comes, the Lucifer comes back, and Jesus Christ,
What?
what's the name of that show?
What are you talking about? Talking about Lucifer?
Lucifer and all of them. They're all living in a small apartment,
The
and
Devil is a Part-Timer is not a rom com.
I don't
That is,
know.
oh my
I don't know.
god.
That's a.
We're gonna, all right.
I
We're
don't
gonna get to
know.
that after yours. Give
I
me
don't
your pros
know.
and cons,
It's kind of rom.
because we're gonna get. But that's
No, no,
actually
no.
my next one. That's my
I
next
know,
one.
I
Devil's
know.
Part-Time is
It's
not
kind
a
of
fucking
come rom
rom-com.
com. But anyway, so Rent a Girlfriend. Just give a quick plot line. You got the main character. He's like some college kid, and he's really nothing special about him. He breaks up with this girl who's apparently amazing. She's the best girlfriend ever, but yet she decides she no longer wants to be with him. He then rents a girlfriend, this cheesy road chick, and she's like the best thing ever. Then we start to go into her backstory where she has a grandma in the hospital, so does he, and she's trying to be an aspiring actress, and that's why she's a rent a girlfriend, so she can practice her acting while being a rent a girlfriend. Um, we're not gonna touch that one with a 10-foot stick. But then she introduced him to another girl who's also an aspiring rent a girlfriend, and she's falling in love with him. And then there's another girl who was a rent a girlfriend, and she went out on a date with him because Chizuru was busy, and then she fell in love with him, so she actually quit being a rent a girlfriend, and then convinced him to be her girlfriend boyfriend, and now there's this whole love
Okay.
triangle.
Let's,
The pros and cons of it. If you want to watch a corny, cheesy rom com,
no, I don't.
it's the cringiest thing ever, and it's like, come on. I'm Team Ruka. She's the one who quit being the renter girlfriend, and she's like, "Yo, I want you to be with me." And she's like doing stuff, and it's like, "Why are you in love with this bitch?" And she doesn't want to be. Neither here or there. The
This is how
cons, the
this is
cons
how I
of
look
this
at you.
season was the fact that it didn't play out in the end. Like you finally kind of get the impression like, okay, they're going to end up together. He professes, yo, I'm going to make sure that we put on this movie because the grandma's dying and she like has this amount of time left to live. He's like, hey, we're going to put on this movie so that she can see you be an actress before she dies. I'm like, oh, that's lit. And then the season ends. I'm like, so we don't get to see the movie. We just gotta wonder for the next year, maybe 2 years, on whether or not they fucking pull off this movie and the grandma lives before the movie or dies before the movie. Like, I can't even deal with it. But
It's called a cliffhanger.
rom com. Rent a
Cliffhanger.
girlfriend. Enjoy.
This is how you look at me when I start talking about like the magical shows with the women on fucking Netflix and like
It's
Euphoria.
cute.
Like,
I like the cute cringiness of it.
okay. So to take you away from the cringier side of things, my next one is The Devil is a Part-Timer. This is not a fucking rom-com. This is a slice of life anime where he has not yet expressed any love interest to anybody at
But
all.
we
So
all
there's
feel
no-
it. We all feel it. Even the
Feel
characters
what?
acknowledge it. Even the like the whole mom,
Yeah.
dad, and the freaking
Hero-
carnival
the hero-
thing.
but it's not a rom-com. They don't go out on dates all the time.
Is it funny?
They don't kissy love things.
Is it funny?
Oh, it's pretty much
Is there
an
comedy?
isekai. There's
Is
comedy.
it
It
kind
doesn't
of
have to be a rom-com.
romantic?
No.
Even
When
though
is it-
everyone
no.
knows that the fucking devil and the girl who's the hero who's supposed to be killing them
When-
are going to probably end
when-
up together in the end of the story.
When has
It's
it been
not-
romantic between them? Ever?
When mommy and daddy went to the carnival together with
They
their
were
daughter.
at the carnival. That's not romantic.
That was
That's
romantic
family
as hell.
time.
Even everyone
If-
was like, ooh.
If I'm with my kids and me and my wife, if I'm with my kids and me and my wife are at a carnival, that's not romantic. That's me
Okay,
having
okay.
family time. Romantic is two on two, one on one, nobody around, candlelight dinner, holding their hand, giving them their jacket.
Okay.
You know, like
That's a fair
that's
point.
romantic.
That's a fair point.
That's romantic.
So I'm going to say it's also rom-com because of the love triangle that they also have brewing. Between
with
the girl
fucking
that he works with and
McDonald's?
the hero and the devil.
Is
Looks,
that not-
that looks like a little love triangle, don't it? Don't
is
love
that
triangles
not-
happen in rom-coms?
So let me ask you this: is a harem isekai a rom com?
No, because they're harem. Everybody knows their position. They play their position.
Yeah, but when he pretty much has every single isekai we've seen with a harem or with a guy that gets a party of multiple girls, they all fawn over him.
Of course. And
So
it's
that's-
a harem. They're meant to be a harem. This
But
ain't
they-
no harem. This is a
And they
rom-com.
just- yeah, but every
fighting.
single time there is a MC that has multiple girls around him, they normally fight over him, whether or not. But this is not a rom. That doesn't mean it's
It's
a
factual.
rom-com.
It's factual. I mean, that's factual. But you know harem animes by harem animes. Is this a harem
You
anime?
do. Most harem animes are harem animes.
I mean,
Black
is
Summoner
this a harem anime?
is not a harem anime. He's get
Oh, that's
No.
definitely a harem anime.
Black
They're
Summoner.
all in love with him. He's collecting a whole bunch of women
He's not,
as
what?
companions.
He has a slime, which was his first one. He had a knight, and now he has an elf, and then he got one more girl. That's it. And what other girls does he have?
He has three
these-
girls.
Who?
Hold on,
Who?
I'll have to pull that one up.
Anyways,
I'm pretty
let
sure
me
he has
talk-
he has the princess. He has the
Princess?
the what's it called? The one that fell in love with him when he
Oh,
first met
the
her.
fucking the god,
Yeah.
the goddess.
Three women, and they all show that they like him.
Goddess.
And the little girl that they calls him Big Brother. Come on, it's Japan. Come on, Oni-chan. Come on.
Yo, she didn't say that. but
So
anyway.
he's building up a harem as well, and
The-
if
I
they get
mean,
another
but-
season, he's gonna get another female.
I'm just saying, in most slice of life animes,
Mm-hmm.
like when he has multiple women around him, they love him. Like that's what they do, and they have these little things where they do the little electricity between them because they're like, you know. But anyways,
A lot of slice of life animes are rom coms too.
So my pros and cons for Devil is a Part-Timer. So Devil is a Part-Timer. Essentially, the devil comes back to Earth, or he comes to Earth from his home planet where he was waging war against the hero. He turns into a teenager. His general turns into a teenager, and they end up pretty much working. And it is a slice of life anime. There is action here and there, but most of the time it is a slice of life. I knew what I was getting myself into. Now, my pro for it is that it's really funny when there is action. The action's really good.
Mm.
I think the storyline is definitely picking up because you think you've handled it, and like it's like they think they're good, and then they something else from Ente Isla comes and fucking like fucks, and they're like, God damn it, like you know. I think eventually they're gonna have to go back if they do continue this. They're gonna have to go back and fight something off so it leaves Earth alone.
Mm.
And I mean, we'll see how that fucking plays out. But I definitely think it slowed down.
Yeah.
I don't know. It 100% felt like it was like I already know slice of life animes are slow. I already anticipated that. I already set my brain scale to it. I was like, I'm just gonna be watching them fuck around, you know, walk around, shop, all that nonsense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it like hit like a wall, and then it just really slowed down, and I'm like, ugh. It was kind of hard just to like sit there and watch it. And then they like kind of give us a little, you know, splash of water. They're like, here's Gabriel fight. Here's like the Judgment Angel. Here you go. You know, like you're like, but that wasn't really a fight. You know.
I mean, they
So
sprinkled some good fights in there.
yeah, they did.
A light sprinkle, just to keep your attention. They know what they're doing. They keeping your
I think
attention.
yeah, true. And but I also think if they're going to keep doing this, I think that they need to at least put a little bit more action in it.
Mm.
Just a little bit, not a lot. I get it. It's supposed to be a slice of life, but I think they with what is going on and how powerful these people are, they need to give them more fighting time.
Yeah.
I will say there was one cool part that I've never seen in anime, at least currently, is when he was talking to the Judgment Angel and he didn't know it, and he was speaking English
Mm-hmm.
with a Japanese accent, and they had Japanese subtitles at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
So I was watching it. I was watching it in sub, so there was English subtitles, and then he was like, "Hey, friend, you need to brush up on Japanese."
Yeah, I
And
never even noticed that
holy
happened. I'm like, hold on, that sounds weird.
I was like, holy shit! And like he was legit speaking English, and they had Japanese subtitles. I thought that was pretty. I thought that was a cool little something because I've never seen an anime do that. So I thought it was pretty cool. But
I've
other
seen
than
it a
that, I
couple
mean,
of times.
it's a, if you like slice of life animes and you like a little bit of action, but you just want to sit back and chill, it is good. But there's a point where it kind of just
And yeah, and also if you like little romantic comedy, it's also another great anime.
it's not a rom com.
Oh man,
No love
let
interest
me move into my
whatsoever.
next one. So Engage Kiss. I think I told you a little bit about that. Did you pick that one up?
No, you told me it's not good.
Engage Kiss?
Is this the one? Oh, this is the one where she kisses him and he turns in like he gets his powers.
No,
What was the one I'm?
he kisses the vampire one, the Call of the Night. That's the one I dropped.
Yeah, that's the one you told
Yeah.
me. To
So
drop. Okay.
Engage Kiss was the one where this guy he has his girlfriend, works for this company. They live in a world where demons do exist, and these companies they kill the demons, but it's hush hush. Nobody knows. Where he disappears one day, comes back with this demon who's like a super high S class demon, but like they're working together, and she's like a humanoid form demon.
Yeah.
Well, the story kind of like it kind of they fight. They show up. You see, there's like a little love triangle between the demon and the ex girlfriend, and the ex girlfriend's still in love with the guy, but he's like, yeah, it's a little romantic comedy. But the fact that every time he kisses the demon, mind you, in order for the demon to get her full powers, they kiss each other, engage kiss. She gets her full powers. Every time they kiss, he loses a memory. And the demon, she purposely chooses the memory that he loses. So she took away memories of the ex girlfriend, all the women he slept with in his
Petty.
life. Like exactly,
Petty.
it was the petty shit. Like the ex girlfriend and him end up sleeping at one point in the story, sleeping together. And like she finds out, and then she kisses him and takes the memory away. So he doesn't even remember that they had sex. So this show was good because a lot of great action scenes, a great animation. Like the plot was kind of slow to kind of get into. Like he found this demon so that he can essentially find his sister. The last few episodes, they finally go back to that. They find we found the sister, we found the location. We're about to now bring her in, and in the end, she ends up giving him all his memory back, and she kind of like gave up her power. It's kind of abrupt how that happened, but apparently when they first made the deal, the demon deal, he tried to trick her, so she rewrote the deal so that if she ever holds his hand like this while they're kissing, then he gets all his memory back and he's in control. So that ends up happening in the end, and then they fight the sister, they defeat the sister, and in the end, it turns into a complete romantic comedy where it's like the sister is still a demon, but she now is sane, and she's fighting with the girl because she wants to be with the boy, and he's like, "Oh God, I can't deal with y'all." And the ex girlfriend comes in, and they want to fight too. So pros and cons. It was
Yeah.
great. The
Yeah.
first 11, 12 episodes were great.
Yeah.
I would say in the end, it crashed. I don't know why they went in that direction. The romantic love
Yeah.
triangle, love
Well,
triangle
I
thing.
mean,
It was weird.
if they kind of finish their like, you know, what's it called? If they finish their action and like they kind of fought who they needed to fight, I think it's probably like not a filler, but not a filler. I've seen a lot of shows do that.
Yeah, it's true, but the way that it happened, it kind of finalized things. Like they created a new plot line. Oh, the girl, she keeps escaping the facility. They're
Yeah.
trying to do experiments, and the boy wants to get her to be full human again, I guess. But it's like you changed the whole feel of the show. Yes, there was a little comedy, very small amounts where the demon was petty. The ex
Yeah.
girlfriend wanted him back and whatnot, but there wasn't. It wasn't super funny. It was like,
Yeah.
but it was the fighting.
Okay.
It was straight
Yeah.
fighting all the
Okay. Move
time.
on. Yeah.
Demons, people died, and then in the end, I was watching that was a part timer. So it was like, what just happened? I'm okay. So
Get you.
in the
Yeah.
end, it was good, but the con was it didn't finish the way that it started or continued on,
Yeah.
and I didn't like that. You know what I mean?
Huh. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll take a look at it again. I have to watch 2 seasons of the slime, so we'll fucking get
Isn't it
there.
like 3 seasons?
I'm gonna be well on two on Crunchyroll.
Huh. Then I think
Well,
it's only two
anyways,
seasons. They do
um,
cores. You got to remember that. With those type of shows, they do cores like first core, second core.
oh, they do have an OVA in between.
Yeah, they do have OVAs too. It's good.
I don't know.
It's worth it all.
Well, so my next one is gonna be really quick and fast. Is Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer? It
Mm.
was ass. There's nothing. It's ass. That's it. I don't. I talked about this before when we did our review on
Yeah, I
these
remember.
shows. Ass. I mean, I tried for you
Did
guys.
you
I
finish
really
it?
tried. No, I really tried. I got like 5 episodes in,
Mm.
and I'm just like,
Bro,
ass.
I
I'm
dropped
not
Call
gonna
of
wait.
Night after like 2 or 3
Yeah,
episodes.
I
So
was like, I'm not gonna waste my time. If y'all want to know, pretty much this kid, I can't even remember now because it's so irrelevant in my life.
mm.
So he pretty much, this kid literally is chosen to be a knight to fight the demons and these weird golem things. And they pretty much have to save the world from this giant hammer that's gonna crack it and destroy it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's just like, okay,
Maybe it
like,
picked up later. Maybe you gotta pick up the title and try again
oh,
and finish it.
if I can't watch 5 episodes of it, I'm
No.
not. I'm not watching it. So it was
It's
ass.
the
That's
same
my
thing
next
for the Call of Night show. Like you remember, it was just about a boy who couldn't sleep, and he met a vampire,
one.
and she
Yeah,
loved the taste of his blood, and he wanted her to turn him into a vampire too, because he couldn't sleep
yeah,
at night. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I don't even foresee
yeah.
me
I
picking
was
it later.
I was over it already. So, anyways, I mean, I can move on to my next one
Yeah,
because I
move on
actually have
to your
shit to
next
say.
one.
I have shit to say about that one. This shit was ass. Anyways,
Mm,
so my next one is Orient. So
I heard that one.
it pretty much okay. So hear me out. It's a good show, great show. I think it's really good for action. If you want action to really, like that's all you want really, like an actiony anime,
Mm,
then it's really good for you. I will say the storyline is pretty much very linear. There's like really not a goal, but there's a goal. The problem is towards the end it's like copy paste Bleach.
mm,
It's kind of exactly like Bleach. There's the pretty much the premise is there's these monsters, these Oni, and there's these Kishin. The Kishin are the monster gods that send the Oni to the planet. Once you kill the Oni, you go and kill the monster god, so on and so forth. Everybody has swords. They're pretty much fucking demon slayers or what's it called, soul reapers. Like that's pretty much what they are. They each have a different aura in their body. Your aura is your color, so you have the red, white, blue, yellow, and green, I think. And you get a special power from that. You pretty much get a bankai, pretty much. And you only way to defeat these monsters by cutting their horns off is to use your specific bankai on their horns,
mm.
right? and the kid, the MC is with his best friend and a female that they picked up who was also a princess, and they're pretty much traveling and they're creating their own Bushi band. The Bushi are the people who kill. They're the Soul Reapers. That's what they call them, Bushi. And they pretty much want to create their own band where you get a bunch of people like a party, and then you build your own castle that floats around. You go and join other armies. You fight Bushi and Kishin, then you go back to your other bands and fight small. Like, it's very copy paste Bleach. They have powerful swords, powerful weapons, a certain aura about them. They fight monsters. And then the last few episodes was them fighting other people with Bushi powers, like Aizen, like an Aizen or a what's it called? Esperadas. What are those? Or
The Espadas?
Espadas. The Espadas. Like, pretty much that's what the last like few episodes was fighting the Espadas, and it was just like, okay, Bleach, but I like Bleach action and I like this anime. It's like watching Bleach without the filler. So I was just like, I'm good, and it's like brand newer anime, so newer animation. It's still a really good show. If you like action and you like blood and guts and like dudes with powerful fucking swords and shit, and like the power level is like, they just fought a dude that was like multiversal. So I mean, and there's like gods and goddesses and nonsense. And the kid also has like he's like a Jinchuriki. He has a goddess in him, an obsidian goddess that gives him extra powers or something. He has a nine tails.
So is it cheesy shonen?
It's not that cheesy. It's pretty funny, but it is. I will say it's a very basic, like a very basic sword fighting anime with powers. Like, that's all it is. So but
it's a great fighting
it's
action anime.
It's a great great fighting anime. Cons is that it's very copy paste Bleach. Just with, obviously a twist.
So would you recommend?
Yes, absolutely. Because I love action animes. I'm going to continue this if it, if it like continues, which it looked like it did. So I don't know. We'll see. But I think it was really good.
I've seen it a few times, like in the list, of course, when I watch my other shows. So I may pick it up, but I'm not super into like the action animes.
I will say that actually I didn't know this was summer 2022 until I looked it up. I was watching the first season and I thought there was only 12 episodes. That's why I wasn't going to bring it up, also because I thought it was the season before, but it was the season before. It was like 20, or it was like, I don't know, whatever the fuck it was. But I thought it was like old and I wasn't going to say anything about it. And then I looked it up on my anime list, sponsor us, and I didn't know, or I saw it said summer 2022, and I was like, what the fuck? Then I realized there's a second season. So the second season is what came out in summer 2022. So I watched the whole second season, but it was, I mean, good action. That's about it. So
no. I was gonna move into something a little less actiony, but let's keep up the action roll. So my Isekai life, you watched that one, right? I gained the second class.
I watched a few episodes. I didn't finish it.
I would say finish it. It's actually it's an Isekai, of course, my Isekai life. The protagonist, of course, is the normal trope. He's super OP. He doesn't want other people to know he's super OP, so he solves villages' problems and then he'll deuce out the next day. But the plot of the story, because in the beginning they don't really get into the plot. The plot of the story is like there's an organization that is trying to essentially destroy everything. Of course, they're trying to destroy everything. They're doing things in the background to like create make a volcano go off so that a fire dragon appears, and then they can harness the energy from the fire dragon to do some nefarious shit. Well, he's in the background taking care of all of these things, not truly knowing that he's essentially fighting these bad people. But then they're like, hold on, wait. Why do we keep getting stopped? So they start investigating to see who's this person that's stopping them. They find out it's him. They start sending agents after him to like kill him, and the agents keep on dying. They keep on not coming back. So it's funny in that way. It's not like a ha show. Yeah. You know what I mean? Did you get that far as yet? I don't know. If I'm trying to think you know.
So my con for this show, I only think I got to like 3 episodes. My only con for the show is that what I said before, I think I was talking about Black Summoner, is that he's very, like, he's smart. Like, he's one of those. Like, you kind of just, not like an arrogance, but kind of like has, has the sense about him, and he's not like, it's not like a funny or like a silly MC. Like he's just like, like I'm fucking smart. We
Mm.
get it. So I think that's my only con about it. Yes, he's
Is it
fucking broken.
too,
What
like,
do
is
you
he
mean?
too nonchalant about how
Yeah, he's
awesome he
just
is?
too. Yeah, not even nonchalant. He's just too like plain and like emotionless,
Mm.
and I don't know.
I mean,
He's just kind
that's
of.
him pretty much the whole show.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not like my favorite Isekai MC. So
Yeah, I would say, like I said, it's a solid show. Go ahead and finish it. Like, it's not, you won't finish the show and be like, I wasted my time watching this. You finish the show
yeah,
like, oh, that was pretty lit. And in the end, like, he defeats the bad guys, and then everyone finds out that he's OP. And he's like,
yeah,
oh no, everyone found out, type shit.
yeah.
So it was a corny isekai, but I
Peter
like
Parker,
it
Spider Man.
because I didn't know that. Some people, of course, are like, "Oh, we knew the whole damn time." Really?
Yeah,
You weren't fooling anybody. But at the end of the day, it was a corny isekai, and I like corny
yeah,
isekais, and it is
yeah.
what it is. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, my last one that I have on my list is an honorable mention, but it also, to me, it technically is Anime 2022. And you won't see it on your anime list or anywhere because it's only on one place, which technically there are Netflix animes on my anime list. But anyways, I digress. So I want to talk about Cyberpunk, Edgerunners. Fucking phenomenal. Like, hey,
It was
I
good.
loved it.
It was
No,
good.
I love that show, especially because I know the cyberpunk world. I know everything there is about it, right? Not everything. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be one of those guys. But I know a lot about the cyberpunk, like the lore. Not lore, because it's not really lore. But, anyways, you know what I'm saying. I thought it was a fucking fantastic show. I will say that if you, and I'm spoilers here, so if you don't want to know, skip like a couple minutes ahead. Um, if you wanted to make the MC's death more heartbreaking, or just like you didn't see it coming, you shouldn't have put him against Adam fucking Smasher. That's all I'm gonna say. For people who know Cyberpunk, for people who really know Cyberpunk, if you put an MC in a show and you make us love this MC, and then you say the last episode he's gonna fight Adam Smasher, I wonder what's gonna happen. It's just like, all right, well, he's gonna fucking die. Like Adam Smasher is not the type. He is that nigga. Like he is that guy. You are not him. Like I told a bitch I'm him. Quit playing. Like that's him.
So do you
Like
like it because you know the world so much and they kind of got so much right?
yeah, I really love the show because they didn't break any lore. There's a lot of times, and I like it because they also took a game that's been a game for a long time and they made a show about it, but not about the game, right? There wasn't any. It was its own thing because cool thing about Cyberpunk is you can make so many stories off so many different people. That world is so crazy and so chaotic and so like different that they could pick any Joe Schmo off the street and make a whole anime about him. Like as long as they obviously make his story like good because they're animators. But anyways, like those people have crazy stories and lives. So maybe any cyber psycho on the planet that ever like harmed fucking Night City, make a whole story about him. You can make an anime about him. It wouldn't matter because it'll be an interesting story with their little dot their I's and cross their T's and shit, right? Um, but my only my only con to this show, my only con is that, well, two cons. One, you like if you wanted people to be surprised about the MC's death, you shouldn't have put him against Adam Smasher.
I mean,
That's just
they
shouldn't that,
projected the
sh-
death the whole show.
that shouldn't have happened, right? I mean that too, but I mean if you really like, if people were like, oh, I'm pulling for him, like I need him to get out of this life or do whatever, like whatever. And then they also made him go cyber psycho, or he was starting to go cyber psycho, which even then some people can get pulled out of. So I was like, oh, maybe somehow like he gets into an accident and they pull all the cybernetic shit out of him, which really, like, how are you going to replace something with organic material? But some people have come out of it, so I was like maybe. But then when they were like, Adam, go fucking kill him, I was like, all right, well.
Okay.
So
Okay.
much for this motherfucker.
No, I understand. I
So and
understand
then
your view.
I have one. I have
Oh
one
yeah,
more
yeah,
con.
yeah. One more.
One more con. Um, they rushed the ending for me
Mm.
personally. I felt like they rushed it a little bit. It doesn't lead an opening for the story. I think maybe only a little bit. They can make another Cyberpunk show about a completely different character,
Yeah.
and I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with it. I love it. But I think if they would have left it open, like, so they left the girl that his love interest, the one that he like got with or was involved with or whatever, or his girlfriend, because they ended up living together and sleeping together. But anyways, they left her alive on the moon or whatever. But if they left maybe one or two more characters alive on his crew that went their separate ways, I feel like they could have brought it back and made something that was kind of like a different story, but like with the same guys. I feel like they didn't leave it open for any expansion on that specific story.
Mm.
Now if they come back with a whole new, like, if they do the exact same shit they did now and then just make it about another street kid, or like, so there's three types. Do you have a Night City kid, like in Cyberpunk? You have a nomad and you have a fucking corpo, right? And maybe they can make this was about a Night City kid, this show, and then they can make the next one about nomad, and then make the next one about a corpo who like has to get out of the life or trying to get into a new life, you know?
Yeah.
So but I think the show is fantastically and phenomenally done, and I have seen literally no negative comments about this show. Like, I haven't seen any negative comments.
Mm.
Like, not, I mean, like, maybe like, oh, I wish they would have kept him alive, but like actually about the show itself,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any negative comments. I know you watched it too. But.
So I think it's important that I give my view on the show as well, especially for this one, because it seems like you're very knowledgeable about the cyberpunk world. For all those folks who either have played the game, because I have played the game, I didn't really super get into many of the storylines. I kind of just beep, cancel, cancel. You know, all the
Skip, skip,
all
skip.
yeah, all that. So you can still watch the show and understand what's going on. I think I should tell everyone who's listening to my OE talk, like, oh, I have no idea who these people are. I'm not going to like
Right.
this show. You can watch the show and they explain what's going
Yep.
on. Now, for people who don't know who Adam Smasher is, I didn't truly know who Adam Smasher was. Like in the show, I kind of got the idea that he's a badass. I didn't really know why he was a badass, but they made it clear that, hey, you're the best guy out here. Go ahead and handle that. Like, supposedly he was supposed to get the suit anyway, but he's like, since you can't have it, go ahead, take care of him. I'm like, if he's supposed to be getting the suit, why do you think he can defeat him then? So I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm sitting there like, oh, can he defeat this guy? And then he just gets dog walked. I'm like, oh, he can't
gets
defeat this
washed.
guy. He can't defeat this guy at all. So for me,
Washed.
it was like, can he defeat him? Is he going to be able to get over his psychosis? Like I played the game. I know people like the main character of the game. He's dealing with that. So I know that you can fight back against that. So I was on the edge of my seat. So people who haven't played the game, who don't know the cyberpunk world, you will enjoy the show. It came out of nowhere. People all of a sudden, Cyberpunk is coming out with an anime, and then all of a sudden the games start coming out with new DLCs, and it was like, okay, let me find out what's going on. So I watched the anime. It was solid anime. Now, cons, because pros, that was a lot of pros. Cons, I'm not happy with, like you said, how they ended the show. It kind of seemed very abrupt. They killed a person that I didn't feel like needed to die. She could have lived. You know, it's not here or there. It's not here or there. You know, it just, I just feel like they were like, oh, let's just kill everybody. Let's just go ahead and kill everybody. And then like the one guy, he survived and he took the main girl interest to where she wanted to go, and it's like, you could have just led with that at this point.
I forgot to say this. On the point of the show being rushed and them all dying very abruptly, there was a reason, and I put this on my show notes for a reason. I saw the word, but I didn't remember what I was going to say, and now I do. Right? They did it for a reason, because in Night City, people's lives are like that, right? You can be the main character of your own story and get fucking capped on the side of the street out of nowhere, right? So there was a reason. Now, I didn't like that it was rushed, but there was a reason why they did it, because kid came from nowhere, had nothing, ended up making it big leagues, and then capped, right? So like that was the point. Is this happens? This happens to everybody.
Yeah, people die easily in the game. Like you murder people by the dozens, by the hundreds in the game.
So like And any of those people we killed in the game could have had their own main fucking storyline going too, and then
thought.
lights out.
I mean, you
Lights
kill a lot of
out.
cyber cycles. I've been on like a whole bunch of missions
Yeah.
to kill the cyber cycles in the area. So they was the main character of their story.
Lights out. So,
Uh,
but
they're great.
I thought it was a great show though.
Yeah, I think it was a great show. Like for
Fantastically
anyone
done.
who doesn't know it, who wants to see it, who's been hearing the buzz, I know you've been hearing the buzz. Watch it. Watch it. It's on
Hot
Netflix.
take.
I mean, just because it's Netflix, don't shit on it.
Hey,
Give it a
come on,
chance.
hey,
Give it a
come on.
chance. Hey,
Hot take. Hot take. This is probably one of the best video game adaptation
100%.
animes.
That's not even hot.
This
That's cold.
really okay.
That's
Okay.
that's
I'm
definitely
making
better
sure.
than the game.
I think this is probably the best
Adaptation.
video game
We
show
got-
that they've ever done.
You got The Witcher. That was like a live adaptation.
I'm
And
talking about like animation.
I mean, but even The Witcher, like it's a solid show. But
Witcher
I still
is a
think this is
fucking
better.
fantastic show.
I still think
This
this is better than The Witcher.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, because they don't do what they're supposed. They don't. They
change
base it off
story
characters. They based it on the characters of the game and
Mm.
didn't make it about the show, or the show had nothing to do with it. So that kind of fucked it. Cyberpunk is a wholly different character in a different part of town, based off, but
think
it's
I
still
prefer
based off a
that.
video game. So
But let me get to my honorable mention. Of course,
Yep, yep.
we've all been waiting for this anime to come out with its next season 4 of Overlord. Overlord was pretty good. It's one of the best isekais ever, up there with Reincarnated as a Slime. It's one of the best light novels, one of the best anime isekai
Yeah.
animes. So I mean, if you don't know the Overlord story, I'm not going to get into it. It's season 4. You go back and watch it. Season 1,
I gotta
season 2,
watch it.
season
I
3,
gotta
season
rewatch
4. But
My wife
this
even
season
knows.
specifically was about Ainz Al Ghul, the main character. He's essentially flexing. He's asserting his dominance, showing people like, "Hey, I'm him. I am him." So this kingdom, like the I'm probably saying it wrong. Red Estes kingdom. This small nobleman who's like like over the trade, kind of like, "Hey, I'm a wheel and deal, trying to make some money off of this." And Ainz Al Ghul kind of already had the idea that he wanted to show people what happens if you cross me. So he used them as not a scapegoat. What am I? Example. He was setting an example by destroying them. This small little thing that they did. Nope, I'm going to destroy your whole kingdom. And by the end of the season, he destroys the whole kingdom. Let's just go ahead and leave with that. The whole kingdom is destroyed, frozen, on fire.
You heard it here, folks. First, folks.
But what makes this season great is, of course, all the scenes, all the episodes, episode 1 all the way to episode 13 were great. All the scenes were beautifully drawn, beautifully animated. What makes the season great, though, is the plot twist in the end. So this whole, like, you've met this princess of the kingdom, probably like season 1, maybe even season 2. So you know that, like, she's kind of weird. There's something about her, but you never really truly knew.
There's a problem. There's a
This
red flag.
season, in the end, we end up finding out that she threw her kingdom under the bus. She was like the third in line to be the queen of the kingdom, behind one brother, behind another brother, and then she's a female, so she probably was never going to get it. She had big dreams, and you could see, like, she got big dreams. Like, she's talking pretty big, knowing full well she'll never be the queen. But in the end, she threw her whole kingdom under the bus, just so Ainz Al Ghul can turn her into a demon, and she can join his kingdom. Like, and then, like, tricks her, like, main knight, like her protector knight. Had him put on, like, didn't have him, but he decided to put on the whole show for the night. Like, she was trying to fight for him to live, and that's why she went underneath him. But I really liked the season. It was a really good season. The Overlord's a really great show in general. Like, if you haven't caught up to catch up, it's great. And I read, like, the wiki. Like, if you ever look up, like, the Overlord wiki, they show light novel information. Everything was lining up. I haven't read the Overlord light novel. Those books are expensive. You see how big and thick the hardcover Overlord? It's like Berserk. You know how the hardcover Berserk, they're thick, and they're like $20 a piece. So eventually, one day, just like you're gonna have a show full of Berserk, I'm gonna have a show full of Overlord right here. But eventually, I'll get into light novel. But if you read the wiki, it like lines up everything that was going on, and I really appreciate when animes follow the light novel. You don't even have to follow the manga, but follow the light novel of the events, because that's how the author wanted it to be, and it was beautifully done. It is what it is.
I think that's pretty much it for both of our lists.
Yeah, I think
I am definitely watching some stuff now. I know that Spy Family and My Hero Academia started today,
yesterday.
or yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, so it started yesterday. So if y'all haven't hopped on that yet, season 6, My Hero, and season 2, right, of Spy
Seasons.
Family.
I mean, it's still the
Season,
first season, but it's the second
yeah,
core of the first season.
part 2, whatever.
They're
Anyways,
doing weird stuff.
but yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. I am gonna finish before I start getting into this seasons of animes. I'm definitely gonna finish Reincarnated as a Slime,
Mm-hmm.
because I have a feeling next season we'll get that next season, or maybe the season after. Who knows? We'll see. But I think that next season after fall, we might get Reincarnated as a Slime back. So I want to make sure I'm caught up on that.
Yeah, they're definitely
And
coming. They got a movie coming out.
yeah, I saw that. They also, and this is for you. So I wanted to clear up something I said to kind of wrap up this episode. I want to clear up something I texted you earlier today
Mm.
about Sasuke Retsuden, right? So
Oh
Sasuke
yeah, that.
Retsuden, yeah. Yeah, so Sasuke Retsuden is for kind of like a little bit of anime news for you guys. So Sasuke Retsuden, they're coming out with it's like a light novel. They said a light novel manga, but I know that light novels and mangas are two different things,
Mm.
right? So I'm not sure exactly what I'm not sure exactly what they're gonna do, like specifically, but I do know that it's called the Uchiha Heavenly Star and Dust.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about Sasuke, and it's the events from after the war, like right after the war, when Sasuke leaves, like after he gets his arm fucking blown off, and he tells Naruto, "You're right, you should be Hokage," and then he leaves, and he's
Mm.
gone. It's right from there, and people are assuming, and a lot of people are saying that it's up to Boruto. So like mid Boruto, where we're at right now, or not where we're at right now, but like take where we're at right now in the beginning, cut it in half, and then it's right there.
Mm.
So it's like right up to that.
I think
Because
they're just
Sasuke,
gonna make the light novel into a manga format, which means it's even closer to getting the anime.
yeah. So they said it's going to be that. It pretty much they said it's going to be long, is what they said. But and comparing it to Naruto itself, like you can't be like, oh, that's like a short story, because anything compared to Naruto volumes is short story. Where they're like 659 chapters or some shit. Like
Almost 700. Yeah.
yeah, 700 chapters. So like, you can't really anything compared to that is going to be short. Like Fire Force is completed. That's nothing compared to Naruto. So, I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to collect that shit
Of
once it
course.
drops. I think that about wraps it up. I mean, everybody go check out some of the things that we listed off today. Um, they're really good, and obviously we're going to be biased about it. We're not going to watch every single seasonal anime that comes out, because sometimes they just look boring or stupid, or we just don't have time. To be honest, we have lives.
I'm going to
Um,
open up my horizon. He's going to watch action
no,
stuff. So if you
and
need the
that's
other stuff,
yeah.
I got you.
So I'm gonna say Devil's a Part Timer is probably the only like slice of life anime that I'm watching this season. It's not a rom com, anyways. But go check those animes out. I'm the action guy, right? He's the rom com and a girlfriend guy. We
Hey,
will
I don't like
be
this.
pretty soon in the next couple of weeks. We'll probably be doing a kind of like a fall review, kind of like what we've been watching so far in the fall season, and give our like halfway point review on it. So be sure you check that out. Go follow us on YouTube, or go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like, ring the bell for notifications, so you know when we're coming at you with the hotness. Go check our Instagram page. David mostly posts everything on there. So if you want a lot of anime news that isn't just really biased stuff on actiony anime, he's gonna be posting some of that stuff. So go follow us on Instagram, Anchor, Apple, Spotify, the Otaku Octagon. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace out.
Peace. Mhm.